sorry, one more question. Were there any cases like she had done something to, you know, topple down her critics?
Rephrase, what do you mean?
Like, were there any cases like she tried to, let's say, intimidate her critics, like the people who say things against her?
It's a bit tricky. Many activists who try to criticize the government or her political party get warning, something like that. But I mean, like, this country is not only possessed by their political party. This is our nation, so I think especially girls and youths who feel betrayed should speak, right? So. Ali? Okay, I think. Okay, okay, my dearest attendees who are attending tonight's peace class, I hope Ali will be back soon. Because he told me a few times before that his internet connection was kind of bad these few days. So we should try to understand. And we are almost reaching the final part of tonight's online peace class. We will soon discuss about the final point of this peace class if she's ever come back. So if he is ever coming back. But while waiting for him, maybe anyone who is interested to give comments. Oh, he's here! Yay! Okay, Ali. Okay, let's see. He's back. But for you who wants to ask question or give comments or just want to say anything, you can just type it in the comments box below. Okay, dearest guys and girls, waiting for Ali, Sina, Doosti. Yep. Good luck. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, welcome back.
I'm sorry for my, I have terrible connection today. I'm sorry for that.
No, don't be sorry at all. It's okay, I understand. It happens here too many times, especially after climate change. Suddenly in August we have 3 rounds of rain in a day. It's supposed to be dry season, so I understand. So where are we? We finished with the second point, right? Ali. Okay, we are waiting for Ali again. He's trying his best to online. Oh, yes, he tried to refresh. Fine, that's fine. Okay, by the way, 2 more days for Independence Day in Indonesia, our beloved country. What are you going to do, guys and girls? I hope you don't try to make a fun competition in this time of pandemic. I mean, in the field that we usually do. Just try and don't forget to hang your flag in front of your house. I did few days ago or even 2 weeks ago, quite early, because I got intimidated by my neighbors who have been hanging their flag since forever, since last month maybe. But back then in June, I was hanging flag because if you remember, 1st of June is Pancasila Day, right? Our ideology. So yes, and I'm still welcoming those who, like last time, there is participant in this peace class who wanted to write for us and wanted his or her writing published in Pandai's blog. So don't hesitate to send it to me. If it's short, just send it to our direct message. If it's quite long, you know where to go, to our email address, pandaiindonesia@gmail.com. And Ali is trying to come again, so yeah, here you talk, Ali. Okay. I know the feeling. I know the feeling on being disconnected and try to connect again. It happened to me today, this afternoon, when I joined the book discussion in Zoom for the comfort women in Philippines, the Lola, the grandma. Okay. Ali, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I think my connection
It's
is
okay.
back.
Yeah, your connection is back and you are back, and it's okay. I hear your voice even though your video is not on yet, but it's okay. Okay. So do you think
Yeah.
we can continue to last question?
Yeah, sure. Let's move on to the next part.
Yeah, right. So could you please share the role of youths, including girls and young women, in preserving peace? I mean, you can share about what else the youths and girls in peace process, but you also can use maybe volunteerism or activism in Afghanistan. Maybe you can describe to us.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'd like to start with the role of women in the peace process. So I think so far a lot of peace talks, peace agreement that has been done, they have overlooked the role of women in their agreements, in their negotiations. So that's something that keeps worrying women and girls in Afghanistan. It threatens them with their hard-gained values, and threatens their progress so far, the developments they have made so far since the establishment of the new government after the fall of Taliban in 2001. So for that, I think involving women in the peace process is a key issue for both the Afghanistan and the both sides, and this could allow people to make lasting peace, and that makes the peace process more sustainable. To sit with them in the table, I think that their participation in the peace process should not be tokenistic, symbolic, like physical presence. It has to be their perspectives should be heard. They should make compromises. They should talk to them, and they shouldn't be sidelined. They shouldn't be in the margin, put in the margin of their talks, but they have to be in the center of the discussions and the negotiations, because they're representing half of the country, and then half of the country decide. They should be put into the decision making. And then for many, so there's been a lot of campaigns run over the social media recently to raise the voice of women and government to include the women participation, to pressure on women participation in the peace process, to ensure that their values are respected, their very human rights are mentioned in their agreement, so that they don't have to expect the lives they had once the Taliban ruled the country. Let's say they were not allowed to get an education, they were not allowed to go to work, they were not allowed to walk outside in the public without having someone from their family members. So I think for that to happen, so the women should have a lot of full participation.
Yes. Thank you for sharing, Ali. Can you hear me? Hello? Wow, welcome back. I see you. Hello? Ali? Yes, and I heard you're sharing too about the girls and women. You want to give some more points or?
Yeah. Do you hear me well now? Because my connection is coming and going, so.
Yes, I hear you clearly, don't worry. And I didn't miss anything about your sharing about the role of girls and women. So perhaps you want to add more?
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna wrap it up. So in the 17 years of, American-backed government with the international military groups in Afghanistan, Afghan women, and a lot of significant developments. They've gone to be leaders, entrepreneurs. Their presence is everywhere. They are working outside, and their presence is also increased in the military as well. So, and then what is missing is that the Taliban have evolved little on women's issues since being pushed from power in the past. So I think for that to put pressure on the Taliban is that they have to sit with the Afghan women and make compromises. Okay, to define in the previous peace negotiations, they defined that women are allowed to get education, women to go to work outside, but that has to happen under the, let's say, they should have a job, they should have they should follow the Islamic rules, but they didn't really identify. They didn't make it clear. Okay, what sort of rules? They didn't make it mention. They didn't make it clear for people. Okay, what Islamic rules are? Is it that they should always wear burqa, or having to leave their homes with someone from their family members, or what? So that's, I think that's these are the complexities that in the next talks I hope that the member of Afghan government and the people who have been chosen to sit in direct talks with Taliban to discuss this topic. Okay, what are those, let's say, the things that Taliban exactly want? Okay, are they happy with this? Women working outside of home. A lot of things has changed so far for Afghan women, but what do they think? So they have to make it clear for Afghan women so far.
Yes, I hope there is a better African women. But I mean, this is a stupid question, but I hope like the girls and women do not really forced to wear burqa, right? When they are outside, it's okay, right?
So yeah, it's in rural parts of Afghanistan. That's still very common for women to have a burqa when they're going outside. But in urban, it's not like that. It's a matter of choice for them. Some women choose to have burqa put on, but some women, without burqa or without anything to cover their head.
I see. Maybe I just got the picture from the books and also the movies I watch. So yeah, it's nice to hear that there is possibility in urban areas for girls to choose. I'm happy to hear that. for me, last thing, um, in Indonesia, the role of youth, it's kind of big. Like I mentioned in the beginning, even the founding fathers and mothers, also many heroes and heroines in the past were youngsters, even until now. There are more youths, especially girls and young women, regardless of the current shortcomings and lacking of resources, they are still trying to work hand in hand to support each other. For example, there are so many charity and donation movement in Indonesia, initiated by youths, especially women, to support the ones in need in time of pandemic. Also, me myself, I conduct small business. I try to cook and sell food, and 10 until 20% of the profit I donate it for supporting tackling pandemic in Indonesia, and then I'm using the platform. It's called kitabisa.com. It's a national platform for doing donation and channeling the donation into the right ways, under the license of the Ministry of Health. And then also in time of this pandemic, youth community, especially who works in peace building, including PANDAI, still try their best to work voluntarily to educate people the culture of peace. Because in this year, just back like in 1919, another pandemic happened in our human history, and I believe my community, Pandai, and the other peace building community believe this year we should focus more in building inner peace to gain outer peace and positive peace. Because many people start realizing that the importance of mental health, and also the importance of the skills like attentive listening and empathy. Because in the past, many youths kind of hesitated to join working in peace, because they believe peace only about diplomacy or high level meeting, but it's not. Peace in oneself is the seed of peace for the earth and world. And I think my wrap up also indirectly want to introduce Pandai's campaign for next month. September is always the most important month for Pandai, because it's the commemoration of World's Peace Day.